What is going on, guys? I got another fun mix game for you because we are playing Fun Mix again. Just kind of playing what the poker world throws at me right now, but apparently it's the one game that people love to play. So, ace to 5 triple draw, deuce to 7 Raz, limit 08, Badoosie to deuce to 7, Badoogie, stud 8 or better, and deuce to 7 triple draw. We have not been dealt in yet. So you guys get to see my explainer. Right now we're playing ace to 5 triple draw. Best hand is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Aces play low. Straights and flushes do not count against you in this game. Against an under the gun raise, this is a fold. 2 card draw to 6. Sorry, 3 card draw to 6. Not keeping the 8 early in that hand. Sorry for the extra noise. I have another table open in the background just watching right now. And over here on our table goes Pat 1. Cookie checks to Cat Dog. Cat Dog pairs threes. And checks back. Seems fine by both players. 9 kind of has an interesting decision. 6-4 here in the small blind. I think we're going to open, but this might be a little bit wide. I'm not sure. With an extra 4 in my hand. I think Cat Dog's going to probably play pretty accurately good here. Does draw 1. Check call with 3 card 6. Do catch an extra 4 as well. He's Pat. Easy check fold. Got another 4 or another 6 with it. Made 2 pair. I'd probably go ahead and for the check raise Pat. Definitely could be wide in this situation. 3-4 here on the button. We're going to fold. Definitely want an ace in my hand. If opening from the button, could go at it with like a couple blockers and deuce 3, but for the most part, again, as the deuce is and deuce to 7, the ace is an ace to 5. 3-4-5 here in the cutoff. This is an open. From the cutoff. Get called by Mr. Shadow. Do not improve. Check, check. 2-2. Wheel draw. He bets. We call. I think we do some raising here, but I think like maybe if I caught 2 aces, that would probably be a better candidate to do it with. We make a 6-6-5. If he bets, we're going to raise and call a 3-bet, and if he checks, this becomes an easy bet. If we get check raise, we'd probably call. I think he plays this hand 5. I'd probably still bet an 8-5 there, just in a 1-1 spot. But I'm not sure how much that bet's making. It's probably not making a lot, and the a 9 there wouldn't be making a ton, but probably still possibly making a little bit too. All right, deuce to 7 Raz. 7-5-4-3-2. Best hand. 6-5-4-3-3 board. Kind of interesting to see. We have 2 deuces in the hole, so actually 2 good blockers here. We're going to go ahead and open the 2-3-3. It's kind of a steal, kind of a like blocking steal. It's kind of like in between, I would say, everything. But I have 2 of the key cards. Obviously, deuces in this hand are deuces in your hand are important. Even in deuce to 7 Raz, if you can find them, again, like relative strength matters. So again, like, you know, if I've used this example before, but if like, you know, everyone's got a face card on their board, and you know you have the only 8, like your hand becomes a lot stronger. Or even if you got a 9 and or a 10 and there's 2 kings and 2 queens out there, like your hand becomes super strong. Really doesn't even matter what you have. Like ace king queen here is total fold. He could have rolled up 9s, but it doesn't matter because all the other players behind him have face cards. It's really hard to give him a call. 9-4-8 here, so we have an 8, a 9, a 5, and a deuce. 8, 9, 5, and a deuce, and the deuce I expect to raise pretty often, but that means the deuce has got pretty wide range. We're going to defend here with a 9, 8, 4. He catches a king, we catch a queen. I think it's like relatively close, but I think we're actually pushing equity now against the deuce. So we're going to go ahead and bet into him because his range is wider than mine. Yeah, and he folds. So good for us there because we paired the 4. I think in a like a normal range on range spot, if you get both players range and like the 9 catches a queen and then the deuce catches a king, it's still probably close. I bet the queen is pushing a little equity, but my guess is in a wide range in a wide range spot, which the cookie 8 had there with the deuce, because my guess is he's opening a lot of deuces. He's probably not opening 100%, but if he's opening like 75, and I'm only defending playable hands with my 9, I become a significant-ish favorite, I would say. So I think betting there is fine. Okay, limit Omaha 8 or better. So there's 2 pots in this game. There is a qualifier for low. So you need 5 cards, 8 or better, to qualify for that low, and the best low will win half. You need 3 cards on the board, like the best low hand right here would be 3-5. That would make a wheel. Again, the low is 5-4-3-2-1. So ace plays high and low. Ace is a very Ginny-ish card in this game because it's the highest high and the lowest low. You guys have heard me say that before. And ace 4-6-6 here against a cutoff open. We're going to defend. We're going to go ahead and check call. I don't think my hand is good enough here to check raise. Now I actually think it's kind of close between what to do, but I am going to go ahead, I think, and check raise the turn here with 4-6-6. I think I have enough blockers and he can just be barreling off. I actually get the through, which is really nice, because now if he had a better ace, I got him to fold it. And if I was against a hand that had me in trouble, I still had outs with the open ender as well. So I like the way I play that one. Ace 3-4-9, open into the big blind. Flop a flush draw and a gut shot. This becomes an easy bet, especially with second nut low and some backup. So backup means like if I hit a 3 or an ace and I get counterfeit, I still have pretty strong low hand. I get raised by cat dog on this board, which I'm not quite sure what that means, because usually it means a 7, I guess. Catch a 9 here on the turn, so we do have some showdown value. He makes a 7 on the river. Kind of interesting, I guess. I have a really bad combo here, I think, to call with. And the reason being is because my ace is not that strong, and I have spades and I have low cards. So it makes me think that this is one of my weaker combos and I actually should just fold. Like, I want to actually a lot of times be unblocking the spades if I'm going to call down. So I think that's just kind of how I should play that one. But yeah, when you have like a lot of the draws, a lot of the low cards, it just makes it so. It makes it less likely your opponent has that hand. Now, when the 7 hits on the river, obviously, like if I had any sort of high equity there, if I had any sort of high equity in that situation, like my hand becomes a like a total showdown hand, like there's no question. But I mean, I'm usually calling like probably all ace kings, all ace queens. I was probably calling with the 9 in my hand until the river, because I made top pair. Like there's some straight draws, I guess, that didn't get there. But like 8-6 could also be a combo that he has in his hand. I get 3-bet here from the big blind with the jack deuce 4-8, so we're going to fold. Actually, in the future here, I might pull that hand back up and see if I can review it. I think that's probably a good one for review, if I can remember that. Medusi here, best hand is 7-5-4-3-2. Best Badugi is 5-4-3-2 unpaired, all different suits. I think this is actually a good lineup to. Some of the lineups I've been playing as of late, just kind of the random games have been they've been good, but they've been a little bit crazy. So you kind of have to, let's say, adjust your play. I think the majority of these players here know these games pretty well. So, well, the game might just break just like that. So we'll just see how it goes. 4-6-7 here in the cutoff here is an open. Looks like we get Mr. Bond. Here we have a Jack. No, we don't have a Jack Doogie. We're going to fold this one. Medusi here with a flush. This is a fold. Too bad it's not Archie. Two card 4 here. We're going to fold, even though we have a Queen Badugi. It's just too rough. All right, Badugi here, 4-3-2-1, all different suits. 3 card 10 or 2 card 7. I think this is a fold out of position. If Bond open, we'd probably defend the 2 card 7, 3-5-7 here in the small blind. We're going to open into Mr. Cat Dog. We win that one. King Badugi here on the button. We're going to open this one, and if it was slightly smoother, I think I would probably... So this is a hand that's breakable, and it's obviously a hand too that can be padded. This is a 2 card draw here in the cutoff. We're going to fold that one. Looks like Cam's coming back, so we got a game. Looks like the 3 card 6, the better 3 card 6 is going to win. Sorry for my lack of commentary there. So Cam posted here in the cutoff, and there's some dead money to fight over. So I'm actually going to call here with the 7 deuce. Now, they're 2 diamonds dead, so I'll take notice of that just in case. Yeah, like he obviously calls and draws 3. I'm going to fold here against this out of position. And Bond made a pretty light call there with like a 3 card 7. Alright, 2 card 6 here in the small blind. We're going to open into Cat Dog again. And get that one through too. Yeah, Cam, I would say like a lot of people, accidentally they post in these situations, or sometimes they post to get in, and I think a lot of the strategy is like if you get a good hand, you should check with the option of check raising pre-draw or like pre-flop, depending on where you're at. I don't see a lot of players do that. I think most players decide to like kind of like just open raise any hand just because there's dead money. All right, we're on stud 8 or better. 2 pots in this game. The first one is a stud high hand, and there's a low hand if you qualify. You need 5 cards unpaired, 8 or better. Ace plays both ways in this game, plays high and low, so it's kind of your joker. If you can find him, find him. Looks like Bond's going to win with 2 pair. 8s and deuces. Definitely say you're strong. Strong hands obviously starting like your obviously, if you want to call them like your group 1 hands, or like your rolled up hands, your aces, 3 suited wheels, 3 suited low cards. And when I say low cards, basically like 8 or under. So if you need like certain clarification, that's what I would qualify it at. They're all hard to get. See aces the most often. Bond has a four card. He has a straight-ish board, so he needs a 7, or he could have deuce 3 in the hole and make a straight. And Cam decides to fold. High pairs in this game are definitely tricky, especially with aces out there. Because again, you're playing like a high pair against a card that plays both ways and just gives your opponent more equity. King with ace 5 in the hole here. We're just going to fold. The other thing too about stud 8, and I've said this before in the past, is you are most likely in any of the stud games to get pushback against the bring in this game. Because if you're facing a king in Raz, there's not much they can do. They can usually just call. So if you like open with a 6 in a steal position, if they 2-bet you with a king, it's suicide on 3rd Street. But if in stud 8 or better, they still can have like a very strong hand, where in Raz like they have a brick. There's a person at my smile. Interesting. Bring it in. Bring it here with a 4. Now this one kind of depends a little bit how the action goes. Like if Cat Dog raises into this field, my hand goes down in value. But if Mr. Shadow opened into like a brick and a 4, I think that my hand has some value. So I'd probably continue against Mr. Shadow and then fold the Cat Dog, just because my hand is this range is a lot stronger than Mr. Shadow's. Cam makes open 8s against Cat Dog, and if Cam's got 2 pair, he probably should bet. And looks like he had 2, 3, 5 and backdoored kings up. Do 7 triple draw here. We're going to fold this one. And then Cat Dog went pat. Cam drew 1, and he made a 86. Cam made 87 and called the river. All seems fine. 7-5-3 in the cutoff here with no blockers. I think we're going to fold. Still want a deuce if we can find it. 3-4-7 is kind of close. Again, blockers also help your hand too, but you want to get off those straight draws if you can. A lot of checking this hand, but 1-1 last draw. And Bond makes a straight. Probably should bet it because he can't win at showdown. If you're checking straights, I mean, if you're checking straights in that situation, I mean, I'm not sure what you're bluffing. 4-6-7 here in the big blind. We're going to defend against a button open, even though we have a straight draw. Price is good. We do have a 7 draw. 2-2. We're going to go ahead and check. Against the bet, we check call once. And we do make the straight actually this time too. So against the 2-1, I think we're actually going to call a little bit light. We're still going to check call and draw 1. We do have the straight draw, but now we have a wheel draw, so it's obviously not our best hand, but we're still going to do it. We make an 8, and I actually think we're supposed to bet an 8 in position here when he passes behind us. We get snap raised. I don't have any deuces in my hand, so I'm actually going to go ahead and pay this one off too. He does number 2. So I usually don't do a lot of, like, I'm not check raising an 87 there. I think that's because you don't want to get 3-bet and be forced to like fold the 3-bet versus the you don't want to really fold. You don't really want to put yourself in a position where like you're kind of folding a mediocre hand against the person in position. I'd rather just go ahead and bet and call a raise, I think. Deuce 8 here on the button. This is close. I'm not quite sure with like no other significant blocker, so I'm going to fold the deuce 8. I would open deuce 7. I'd say like probably 2-card wheel draws with the deuces and open, but not sure with the deuce 8. I think the river went either 1-1 or 1 pat, and ace-5 triple draw, so the game changed. That's good to know. This hand went from a really strong hand to kind of a mediocre hand. But most likely, again, like a 1-card 7 draw in position here. We're going to play it this way. Unless it goes like called call and they both take 2, then kind of a tough one here. Actually, this would be an interesting hand to consider snowing if they both took 2. But we just win. That's totally fine. Ace 3 here, fold. Three, 4, 6 here in the big blind against a raise and a call. This is a call. We're going to take 2. And it goes 1, 2, 2. So, sorry, 2, 2, 1. So we're going to go ahead and check call most likely. Even though we don't have an ace or deuce in our hand. Ranges are relatively wide, I would say. Actually, Bond probably has the of the ranges, say the tighter range. But I'm going to go ahead and check this one. It's kind of close here what we do. We don't love the fact that we have a rough 6 draw against button. I don't think button should have too many 8s in this situation, and then we have another person drawing against us, so I'm actually going to fold this hand. If I had a smoother 6 draw, I think it's an easy call. Wow, check call drew 1 at the 8, which I think he drew 1 at the 8, which I think that's a little bit too rough. I'm over here folding 6 draws, and Mr. Bond is drawing 1 at an 8, which but when Mr. Shadow goes pat there, not quite sure if he should have if he's not snowing, if he actually has like a made hand, I don't know if he should be keeping 8s early in the hand or not against 2 players. So he might also just be playing the wrong game at this point. Get a lot of action here with this one. Mr. Shadow raises under the gun. Cam 3-bets from the big blind, and again, I'm not sure if out of position player or in position player should even be 4-betting against the big blind 3-bet, because it's usually like pat or 1-card draw. Super strong draw here, 4 to a wheel. Cat dog calls and draws, which figured he'd be actually 3-betting in position there against cutoff button range, unless he thinks I'm a little bit tight. Make the 9 still not breaking. I've seen an extra 9 too. Now this is kind of like close here because I don't think my opponent's pat, but out of position with the 9 in this situation. I still like drawing just in case he's like trying to freeze me with like a rough 8 or something, but it's close. Make a wheel. Gonna go for the bet raise. Again, like I don't recommend usually checking wheels in this position. The reason why is because you definitely want a hand that wants to get the money in. Alright, deuce to 7 Raz here. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2 is the best hand. Straights, flushes count against you. Aces only play for high. Again, it's all kind of relative to your board strength, but obviously a good good starting hand in this game is going to look something like your strong 3-card draws and deuce to 7. You know, a deuce to 7, any card in between. Realistically, even like most 8 draws with like a deuce or 3 and an 8 with any card in between. 6, 4, 10 here with a 9. We're going to fold to Mr. Shadow's open. I think Bond didn't have a brick over here. I think he had something too, so his range should be a little bit stronger. I do have a deuce up and a 6, but I got a 3 and a 6 behind me. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one. So we're playing 4-8, so we're playing 4-8-1. So we're playing 3-6-1. What's that? No, we're playing 4-8-1. Ace here with a king. We're going to fold. Again, the 7 brings it in. So again, like relative strength here, we're looking at like 5 cards that can all make wheels. So obviously with a brick in the hole, we're going to fold. But if this was like, you know, king, king, queen, you know, jack, or well, another king or something like that, then we would just go ahead and open. But not strong enough here. We're going to open this hand if allowed. If Mr. Bond folds. The 9-4-8 here, I think we're going to fold. Depends on how wide I think his range is. If he's super wide, I think actually 2-betting here is correct. This could actually be a too tight of a fold. I have to think about that one a little bit. But I don't like taking 9s away or taking the 9 with it. Sorry, drawing to a 9-8 right away. Like if I had a smoother 9, I think I would call, but I don't think Mr. I keep calling him Mr. Bond just because, but I don't think he's going to be opening too many bricks in the hole in that situation. Limit Omaha 8 or better, so we're back at this game where there's always a high hand. 8 or better for low. So the ace in the 8 or better for low formats are almost always going to be your jokers. You want them if you can find them. We get 3-bet here. We would probably defend here actually with a 9-8 king 5, but for 3 bets we're going to fold. Flop a 6-card straight, but we did not play. Ace 10 5 6. Again, we have this combination. Kind of a general rule of thumb. Like anytime you're going to play a hand that has like an ace, a wheel card, and a face card, it almost always is going to like justify you putting in a raise and re-raise. Here's kind of an interesting one where we have 10s and 6s and nut flush draw, ace 5 low draw. We get raised on turn. I don't expect to run into like 7-8 too often here. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet 10s and 6s. Like I also have like a combo draw. Now when I get 4-bet, I'm assuming that he just has 7-8 somehow. And then on this river, I'm not going to check 2. I'm not going to go for check raise. I'm just going to go for value bet. Yeah, and we beat him. This is even 8, 9, 10 jack here is just a little bit too wide to open in Omaha 8 or better. But yeah, we got super lucky there. All right, sweet hand here. Ace, ace, jack, deuce, double suited. So we have aces, low draw with it. Obviously, like any combination of ace, deuce is going to be super strong, but having an ace, ace, deuce, double suited is even stronger. And we get probably one of the worst flops. I wouldn't say one of the worst flops because we have live ace draws and backdoor flush draws, but I'm going to go ahead and check this one. We have no spades in our hand. Catch a relatively good card for a hand. We're going to go ahead and bet this one now. We have aces. I would expect a 7 to bet into us a fair bit on the turn. Oh, wow, we get it through. Interesting. Okay, well, that works. I expect to get called there pretty frequently by like most lows after I play a flop check. And you definitely should be checking some strong hands in your range there, like nut low, nut flush draw, or even like a set, nut low, etc. But board pairs usually in that situation. I think my hand is more or less going to be something like that. It could be a combo. It could be also like a combo like, you know, ace 6, 4, some ace 5s theoretically, but I don't think I have too many of those. I think you get a lot of fold equity when you just bet. But yeah, we'll definitely take the we'll definitely take it. It's kind of, I mean, like, I have 2 aces in my hand, I have a deuce in my hand, so I'm not quite sure like what they could fold there. Because then I would expect to get called by a lot of high cards, high pairs behind as well. Badusi, I have a 2 card here. I don't have 3 cards, so we're going to fold. I don't even remember where we started here. When we start Badusi, Badugi. I guess we'll play the Badugi round, and now we'll try to play stud 8 or better round, just because again, it's one of those games that just you see a lot in all the mixes. So these type of mixes you see a lot in cash games, but I definitely want to play the tournament mixes when I get the opportunity. So Badusi here, 2-8. Looks like I have 2-6-8, but I do not. Against the 3-bet, we're going to fold. Get it's 4-bet too. I definitely think your 1-card draws in position on the button against a small blind 3-bet can be 4-bet. Because the small blind should have 2-card draws when they 3-bet you here. But against, say, like a hand where, you know, under the gun raises and I 3-bet from the big blind, I either have a really, really strong 1-card draw or I'm pat. So I'm not pointing at cat dog over here. I'm just giving the example of, you know, if positions are flipped, what does it look like? On open raise this button, we're going to fold deuce 7. And then if it folds to us, we'll open the deuce 4 on the button. But it does not, so we're going to fold. Still have the offer on the table if anyone wants some an hour of coaching for free, where if you have a Phenom account and you would like some feedback on your game, free hour. I will do some evaluation. I'll give you feedback. Yeah, all I ask is that I get to post it to YouTube so all of us can learn. Still waiting for my first person to take that up. Also, it doesn't matter limits. So 50 cents a dollar, 100, 200, I don't care. 2, 3, 8 here is with double blockers here. I'm just going to go ahead and call. I think this is fine. Takes 2, so we've deuce of hearts, 8 of spades, mucked. Catch a 10 of spades, diamonds right away. I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and, since I don't have a smooth, since I don't have this smooth 3-card with it, I'm going to go ahead and keep the 10. And then he takes 1, I'm going to take 1, and then evaluate what happens here on river. I'm going to go ahead and check back 10s, I think. And he has a 9, he would have called me anyways, I guess, but not trying to be super oriented, but I definitely should check some Badoogies back there. 5, 8, 7, I fold. The only question is since I have 0 equity in the deuce hand, if I should consider kind of semi-bluffing my hand and get him to fold a like a pair or something with a 3-card. Actually, the more I think about it, I probably should bet the 10, honestly. Just trying to get him to fold is probably better. So actually, the more I think about it, I probably should bet the 10. In retrospect, it didn't matter that hand, but again, best way to evaluate these things is to you know, review and just make better decisions next time. Nothing here. Like, I guess if I'm going to check a Badoogie, just in case I like prevent myself from getting check raised sometimes, it's like maybe a 10 Badoogie and like a king low, because I can still scoop. And I'm probably going to get called by better hands. So yeah, I think I like that a little bit better. So yeah, I probably should have bet those 10s with the 10 Doogie. Card 6 here, obviously we're folding that one. To an open under the gun. Badugi is one of those games too, I think, where you can get a little bit crazy and you're not necessarily giving up too much. Like opening a 2-card 7 here would be crazy, but if you opened a 2-card 6 on the button, I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world. Especially against some tight opponents, but that's just me and my experience of playing this game for years and years. I guess next is 7 stud 8 or better. And deuce. Maybe we'll play the deuce round too. Give you guys a little early Christmas special. Bond makes an 8 doogie. Relatively strong. Sits out the stud. Definitely, I would definitely recommend, and I haven't looked at the Badugi section. I haven't looked at the deuce section. I've only skimmed it. Actually, you know what? It's kind of ironic because I have it actually sitting in front of me in my computer. But I will look at the deuce to 7. See if I have the deuce to 7. I'm looking for. We get a walk there with the king jack. That's lovely. I'm looking to see if they have the rankings of the hands in the book, and the reason being, I think it's. Sorry, everyone. Dropped my mic. What I think it's relatively important is you get a good sense of where a lot of the rankings fall in between, especially Badugi, because Badugi's pretty wide. Let's see here. Give me a pardon my deuce to 7 single draw. That's not the same thing. Deuce to 7 triple draw. Let's see where. Again, some of these strategies I would say, are somewhat dated, but again, for the people who are learning the game, yeah, here we go. The people who are learning the game, it gives you just a really good sense of like the intro stuff that you've just never really thought about. So I think it's, you know, if you want to start learning mixed games, I think it's on Amazon. It's like $40, but it's well worth it. But even it says on here, like, so if you look at the distribution, obviously there's 5 7s, or sorry, there's 4 7s. Number 8, or 8 5 4 3 2 is the 5th best hand, and then if you start looking, I think number 19. Sorry, let's see. Number 19 is 9 5 4 3 2. So if you look at like the 7s, there's 4 7s, and then if you look at the 8s, there's 15 8s. And then 9s, there are, so 53 to 19. That is 34? I think 34, 52, sorry, 52 to 19 is 33 9s. So obviously that numerically it like gets, combinatorically it gets a lot bigger as you go up. And it's just kind of important to like see where you fall in the distribution. Why, like I've said in the past, you definitely kind of like want to know where you're at with these hands, because I definitely agree that humans in general are good thinking linearly, but they're not good about thinking things exponentially. Here we have 3 3 5. We're going to definitely defend against an open from one of these positions here. If it goes raise and re-raise, it's a little bit tricky. Well, that's my fear right there. I'm getting roughly 3 to 1. I actually am getting 3 to 1. But I think I'm going to fold the 3 3 5 against the button and open. Kind of feel sad about it. But again, going back to what I was saying, like I don't think we think very well linearly, but we don't think well exponentially. And it's the same thing with like Badugis. So if you think about it, like the median Badugi is queen 7, right? So if going to Badugi, think about like what the median is. It's queen 7. So think about like how many. If you think about how many hands, half the hands are above queen 7, which means, I don't know, 65% of them are queens or better, 60% of them are queens or better, something like that. Now ranges are definitely narrowed. It doesn't mean like if someone, if you're in a 1-1 spot, it doesn't mean like 60% of the time or whatever they're gonna have a queen. But it just means from like, if you're thinking it from a wide distribution standpoint, where does your hand fall in like the distribution. Okay, we'll play the deuce round for you guys as well. Again, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, best hand. And what's interesting too, when you start to play like these split games, obviously deuce to 7 isn't a split game, but when you start to play Badusi, you definitely realize like your equity goes up a lot if you have a rougher draw, because like you have a 3 card or you have a Badugi. Like having the best Badugi is worth so much, even though your deuce to 7 draw might be 0. Like in a lot of these split pot games, usually what you're trying to do is like free roll one side to win the other. Here we have 7, 5 deuce, 3 to wheel. Play this hand against anyone. I'm not going to 3-bet against button. We're just going to call. Our opponent takes 3, so we're going to go ahead and bet the 9-8 and probably just pat. Just quick pat against the draw 3. If we get raised, it's a little bit tricky. I'm going to go ahead and 3-bet and just pat this hand. I expect him to have a lot of 1-card draws here as played. Now if we get raised again, it's even more tricky. I think I'm going to go ahead again and call and stand pat, and then if he pats behind me, I'm just going to check fold river. But I see a lot of people do a lot of funky stuff in this position, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it up. Plus I have like the blockers too, like I have a deuce and a 7 in my hand, so I don't think I'm getting snowed too much here. Um, 3, 6, 8, we're going to fold. Going back to that hand too, if my draw was a little bit smoother, I think I would have just drawn it the smoother draw. But because like I have 87, even if I make my hand, I'm no guarantee to win. Like usually when a person draws 3 and then they raise you after you bet into them, they have a 1-card draw, and usually that draw is pretty smooth. So I feel like the way that I win that hand more is because some people, and I don't really have a lot of experience against Memphis here, but some people still, I would say, especially like these limits, tend to spaz out a little bit more, and they'll just go ahead and like raise again, trying to get you to break or fold. So I think like your best bet is still to just keep your pat hand and try to get to showdown. Unbreakable, really like 9-7 here. This is a hand that I would probably 3-bet Y with in pat or an open on the button, but against an under the gun range, I'm just going to fold. Can't really break and draw or do anything with it, so I feel like Cat Dog hasn't played a single hand here. Maybe I'm just not watching. I feel like my commentary is okay though. So Cam open raises. Mr. Shadow calls and it goes 3-4. Interesting. Wakes up with finds a 7 there too. Pretty strong. 2-5-8 here in hijack I think is too loose, especially against an open raise. Last draw goes 2-1. Probably no harm, no foul there with that. Now, YYY should bet. Now, the other thing, too, is like in a situation like this, if it goes 1-1, YYY should be betting probably jacks plus, I would say. But against your opponent when they take 2, 3, 4, 5 here under the guns fold. When your opponent takes 2 in that situation, you should be betting even wider. I'm not quite sure what you should be betting down to, but my guess is it's got to be relatively close to some really good kings. Turn my heater off. I'm sorry, guys. Gotta get that one fixed. I'm gonna play one more round of ace to 5. Just give you guys a nice little Christmas gift. If you guys want to watch me play bad for one more round, I appreciate it. But thank you guys as always for sticking around. Just ooh, ace deuce 3 4. Smooth draw. This is a pretty draw right here. Not too much to say. This is a 3-bet. Draw 1. Just give us a 5 right away. End it. There we go. Just like we requested. Again, not doing too much check raising in this situation. Just want to go ahead and get the value if we can. I don't think Mr. Shadow has any faults. I guess, yeah, I guess he does in that situation. He might just be super rough. Against the open here from the cutoff or the hijack, we're just going to fold. Two, 1. And 1, 1. Oh, sorry, 1 pat. Cat dog check folds. All right, getting the good stuff out of the way. If you guys like what you see, like, subscribe. Comments below. Again, if you would like a free hour coaching, just record 1 hour, send it to me, and I will go over it. Probably use a couple tools to just do some equities if you find some interesting spots together. You can be there on the video with me or not a big deal. Also, if you guys are looking to open a Phenom account, below is a link that will help me out and also keep me motivated, keep making the videos, keep the channel going. So right now it's the end of December. Hopefully Phenom here is getting tournaments in February and March. And then at the same time too, I hopefully have a special announcement coming soon. I'm super excited about it, but I have to verify it first, so we shall see. And then, yeah, I'm looking forward to the tournaments because when they get tournaments, then they should have formats very similar to the World Series, and it kind of becomes like a warm-up for the World Series. I feel like a lot of the World Series warm-up in general is usually playing cash games or playing like larger buy-in tournaments. You know, occasionally you see like some 600s at the win, or but the ability to play like cheaper mixed game tournaments I think is just really good for players who are wanting to learn. Ken Lowe's book, again, Mixed Games, is good. Any commentary by Chris Fitch is fantastic, and you can find that on PokerGo. Oh, actually, too, Chris has got his own little YouTube channel now. He's doing a lot of in-depth. Chris does a lot of like in-depth stuff. So if you're looking for, let me find his YouTube channel real quick. But if you're looking for in-depth analysis on certain hands, like I think he's going to start with Limit Hold'em because he's using Pio more than anything. Let me see here. I believe it's just at Death Donkey. D-E-K-E-Y. See here, at Death Donkey. And then deuce to 7 Raz here. We're going to fold, unfortunately, even though we have deuce 4 in the hole. Yeah, so yeah, his handle is just at Death Donkey on YouTube. But so far he's done some analysis on limit hold'em hands. I know a lot more is coming out for him soon. It's just wanted to give him a shout out before. We'll play this one here for sure. We have the 7-5 deuce. Obviously, like one of the super strong, we're just probably going to get this through against Cat Dog. Yeah, and that's it. But yeah, until then, any questions, comments, again, just reach out to me. Feel free. Also, I'm on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, too. Same handle, at Learn Mixed Games. If you guys want to reach out, say hi. Play this one here since we're here, too. Cat Dog 3-bets the 4. Just going to call. He catches an 8, and I catch a queen. Obviously not great, but we're still going to continue once. And he pairs a 4. Obviously a little bit tricky here too. We're still going to call. Visibility going with this hand. We don't block an 8 too, so it's possible. He's got a Jack 8. He's got a Jack, representing a Jack 8 in the situation. We're drawing at a Jack 7. He does bet. We're going to, unfortunately, I think we're going to call this one. And we catch an ace. We go the queen, king, jack, ace. And what do I have? I have queen, jack, and his jack is good if he has it. He does have a jack. I think he correctly checks the jack 8 there in case I have a better draw. But I think I'm folding that river. But until then, good luck at the tables, guys. Play well. Good luck. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.